The world of Runeterra might be one of the most fascinating and intricate fantasy settings in modern gaming. While League of Legends is commonly associated with its wildly popular competitive scene, Riot Games have been taking great strides in recent years to flesh out their world and the characters that reside within, even going so far as to reboot the entire story in 2015. While this push for a deeper narrative has been widely appreciated by the game's lore community, the results have been controversial at times. With a retconned world came the need to retcon characters. Riot has made a substantial effort in the last few years to reimagine the backstories of League's iconic champions to fit them into the new lore, but not every change has been met with positive feedback. Let's face it, no writer is perfect and hindsight is 2020, so a number of characters throughout the years have been left with less than stellar backstories compared to most of the roster. Still, it is my firm belief that criticism should always be supplemented with suggestions and feedback for improvement, which is what we're here to discuss today. Hello and welcome to Runeterra Rewrites, a series in which I'll be offering my own takes on League's most controversial stories and champions. My aim is simple, to propose alternative versions of these stories that better match the characters' themes and concepts, without needing to alter anything regarding their in-game designs or voice lines. With all that being said, please sit back, relax, and let us begin, shall we? Feared far and wide across all corners of Runeterra, the sadistic wraith known as Thresh had once been nothing more than an ordinary man. Born into an order from an age-long past, Thresh served as a warden of powerful relics hidden within the Blessed Isles. This order, dedicated to gathering and protecting arcane knowledge from all across Runeterra, kept itself hidden thanks to the concealing mists that obscured the Blessed Isles from the outside world. Though Thresh was ever dutiful in his responsibilities to the Order, his brothers and sisters within always looked to him with uncertainty and apprehension, for they knew something about him was amiss. While nothing could ever be proven, Thresh's ghastly demeanor gave rise to many rumors, that he enjoyed watching others' discomfort, and even delighted in unsettling them. Some even speculated that Thresh was involved in far more nefarious acts, but no evidence of such misdeeds ever came to light. Eventually, Thresh was bestowed a prestigious, but lonely position to guard the vaults of Helia, where the Order's most dangerous artifacts were kept. While many praised him for his rise to prominence, Thresh knew all too well that this was nothing more than a ploy to isolate him from the rest of the Order. Left alone to his own devices in the darkened vaults, Thresh skimmed the records of his new charges, taking interest in the many relics now placed under his watch. Among them, Thresh learned of an ancient lantern that the Order had used in rites long ago to purge the wickedness from sinners' souls. Through this rite, one could be cleansed of hate, fear, doubt, and malice, storing their darkest emotions within the lantern for all eternity. Each time Thresh looked upon this relic, a twisted curiosity overcame him that only grew with time. Alas, the lantern was sealed with magical locks not even Thresh could open on his own, and so it seemed to be forever out of his reach, until the armies of a mad king called Viego arrived on the shores of the Blessed Isles, seeking to resurrect a dead queen. Thresh watched with twisted glee as these foreigners laid waste to his home, and offered to help the Mad King claim what he sought. In exchange for his own life, Thresh revealed the location of the Waters of Life to Viego, and allowed the members of his own order to be cut down in front of him. As Viego ventured deeper into the sacred chamber, Thresh scoured the bodies of his former comrades, eventually finding the keys that would grant him access to the lantern. While the Mad King attempted to resurrect his precious queen, Thresh raced to the vaults, undoing the locks that had long denied him. At last, the lantern was within his grasp, and Thresh could hear the darkness within calling to him. Without hesitation, Thresh opened the lantern, setting loose the evil that had been contained for generations. A horrible black mist burst from the lantern, twisting and distorting everything it touched. Those who came into contact with it, living or dead, were reborn as twisted reflections of their own inner darkness. Undying creatures bound to the mortal world by grudges, delusions, and regrets. Though many despaired or lost themselves to the black mist, Thresh reveled in it, taking quickly to his new form and the power it afforded him. In the centuries since, Thresh has dwelt within the black mist as a warden of souls, preying upon the living and dead alike. He stalks the land in search of mortals filled with courage, hope, and faith, and strives to strip them of their sanity as slowly as possible. Only when they have fallen completely to despair and madness does the warden tear their souls from their bodies with wicked chains, imprisoning them within his lantern so that he may resume their torment for all eternity. And yet, it wasn't enough. As time passed, Thresh realized that he, too, was a prisoner of the Black Mist, unable to leave the Shadow Isles for any extended period of time beyond the yearly harrowing. The darkness that empowered him was also a restraint, and so Thresh resolved to find a means of controlling it, that he might stalk the world of Runeterra unabated.